All right, a meditation you can repeat from time to time. The change is complete. And yet there will be further expansions when new authority is needed to use that meditation to gather, to align with your new authority. And so we have time for questions. John, who begins?
Henry. Oh, wait a minute, he can't. Hang on, Henry. There we go. Try it now. Uh, Henry, you should be able to unmute yourself. Yeah, okay.
Yes, sorry, I was just getting back.
Yes, take your time. Absolutely. John, are there others on the list?
Yeah, there's Francis and Monica, but neither of them are here.
All right, so Henry, where do we begin?
Is it possible to go a little later? I'm not really
Well,
quite.
you're the only one on the list.
Is it?
Oh, I'm the only one on the list. Okay, well, let's go then.
Okay.
Um, the is how appropriate the meditation today, and um, so what happened this afternoon was I decided to do things that I don't normally do, and I went off and to get some free pastries from a new coffee shop that give them away when they're closing, and I had some wonderful pastries, and I got a coffee, which I normally get a tea because I think coffee makes me. But I thought I feel like a coffee, so I'll do that, and then I thought, well, now I need to get back and still do some meditation because I was kind of astray, and I thought, no, I'm going to go and walk by the canal. And so I went a different way to where I normally went, and then the canal felt different, and I thought, well, I need to get back. No, I'll stand here. I'll stand here in this wonderful place. And then people from Japanese people and Indian people came on the bridge where I was standing and were, and I was just thinking, just this part of I don't know what this is about, but it's I just feel kind of part of the world somehow. And then I started to walk back and saw a wonderful flower lit up, and I thought, my main camera is broken. I haven't got around to getting it fixed, although I could. So I had my phone, and I thought, well, I'll take it with my phone, even though I don't think my phone can do that sort of thing. And so I was reminded, oh yeah, this is working, using the light, using the flowers, and oh, all these things can work, and so it was in a way, and just into the unknown. But it was just letting myself kind of do what I want to do, and not worrying too much about that, and just feeling really good about it, and the in the meditation, you know, I often find myself thinking I should be. I don't really want to go into the cave behind the waterfall, though that's the one that comes quite often. And I think, oh, it's a bit kind of. I don't want to be in that dark kind of cave and stuff like that. But anyway, I went. And I sat there and I thought, okay, so this can be wonderful. And the water was flowing, and then all the light started to sparkle through the water. And I was just saying, oh, yeah, this stillness and the darkness and the solitude, and yet all that happening in front of me as well. And And then you mentioned, I think it was a veil. Is that what's normally the anyway, you mentioned fabric, and I was thinking, oh, fabric, yes. Oh, I've been seeing so many wonderful fabrics recently. I thought, oh, fabric, yes. Oh, yes. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I mean, it's normally the cloak or something, isn't it? And but that felt wonderful, and then I kind of got a bit lost, but then felt, this is my reality, and I can do anything with it. And so that was all marvelous. And what before all that, in a way, I've been getting in the last week to a place of feeling I'm not sure what I don't see how I'm going to get through this stuff. And so in a way, it's almost like, well, if it's all going to go away, I might as well do what I want to do. And feeling rather odd about that. A highlight on Thursday was at the coaching was discovering I made a note here. Oh, discovering that the lesser of me, the way I go about being lesser, which is thinking that when I'm successful, I need to let it go away. There seems to be, I seem to feel, well, there's competition, people won't like me, or people will compete against me, and those sort of things. And so I'll become less, and let the success go. And that got merged so they became the same as the more of being who I am, which is to help people see their own beauty. As probably we've mentioned it before, but help people see or feel whatever way it is, either when I'm talking to them, or if they see my photographs, or they see me act, or whatever it is. It triggers a sense of their beauty and their talent, and in a way, the lesser of that was me thinking that if I'm lesser and people can feel better than me, then that'll be a good thing. That'll be a safe thing. Of course, it isn't, but it's the same intent. It's the same luminous intent at the heart of it, and that was such a. I mean, I came away from it feeling energetic and feeling, oh my God, and then that later on that evening, that kind of collapsed into a place where I've been trying to come out of, and realizing again when these wonderful things happen, that then the intensity of the lesser of it comes, so that I can work with it. I've been feeling just a lot of the giving up energy, and at the same time, I mean, it all makes sense, and I find it difficult to leap out of it. I mean, last week we talked about working with child and adolescents, and I'm just seeing so graphically. Another thing that happened was very redolent of a thing that happened in my adolescence, where I was cast in as Brutus in Julius Caesar, and I didn't want to do it. I wanted to play the I can't remember the name. The other part, the one that gives that wonderful speech about even though that actually wasn't I didn't realize at the time that Brutus is the lead, and Brutus is the most interesting character. And but I went through this whole thing of kind of saying, I'm not feeling well, and all those sort of things. I don't think I can be in the play, and just hoping they would give me the the what's the name? I can't remember. The the fancy part, the one that everybody likes. And, just realizing I was doing that. I was cast in The Winter's Tale last night in what I thought was not a very particularly interesting part, and I was going through the same sort of stuff, thinking, I want to say I don't want to be in it, and then thinking, yeah, but I want to be connected, and I know whenever I act, I feel connected, but I don't want to do that, and just trying to get round to telling the person running the group that I didn't want to do it, and then thinking, but maybe I do, but then not giving her a chance to change the cast and all that sort of thing. It was just such an intense thing, and I could see exactly how that was. That thing I was doing in my adolescence, and I was trying to talk to my adolescent and saying, and I kind of found I couldn't do that. And anyway, in the end, I did go and do the role, and I did enjoy it enough, and so I can see just how so I can just see that and see with my child just not wanting to do anything and realizing how, and then today I just realizing how the bedbug thing has I have done so little about that, and there's so many things that need to get done, and just then this afternoon with the canal, just feeling okay. I can work with my higher self. We can do something about this, so it doesn't all just fall apart. But it's just this feeling of it's all going to just fall apart, and that's too bad. The other thing was a magic time with Lazarus, and I was rereading the notes about fear, and being kind of addicted to fear, and that's what I've been feeling this week. That everything feels so boring, so I kind of pile on something else to feel fear about, and I think, well, this fear, there's no way out of this one, and that kind of gets me going, and of course then it shuts me down, and the magic time notes kind of, I was just thinking, oh, I can work with this in the it was in the unknown, in the in the subconscious, in the depths of that. I can't remember what that's called. With the adolescent, it was very boring, and they were adolescent playing with fear, playing with things that could blow the world up, because that was what gave them excitement, and just remembering that, and remembering that I think Lazarus said, shut it down, and every time I thought about doing that, I was thinking, well, can I really just kind of shut that down? And so anyway, I feel a lot of hope after the meditation and after this afternoon.
Yes, beautiful. Yes, and after Thursday, when you think about the luminous intent, wow, it was the same. It was about helping others see the beauty in themselves. On the lesser self side, to diminish yourself was supposed to get it done. On you, the more side, you found other avenues that were more impactful, more positive, more demonstrative, and allowed you to be a part of it, and also for you to benefit from it as well.
Yeah.
And so you can see the difference now. Oh, the lesser self did the best he could, but it didn't answer the need you have within yourself to recognize your own beauty, to be available to beauty within yourself and in the world. It was for others primarily. The lesser self strategy was so that so that you could be safe. I'll just let them succeed. I won't succeed. I'll just let them have beauty. I don't need beauty. That was to survive. But as you really let in that you have moved far beyond that, and as you've been creating new ways to give beauty to others, it has allowed you to become more. And that you do enjoy beauty for yourself as well. And so that lesser self strategy of denial, of denying yourself what is needed, it doesn't work anymore. And it doesn't make sense to do it because now you see, oh, the luminous intent is the same. There are many ways I can get to the same place. Why would I continue to choose a way that doesn't serve who I am becoming? And that's important to see. And now on the other side of it, you can't unsee it. You know it now. Okay, this strategy doesn't make a lot of sense. I guess I won't spend as much time in it. Doesn't mean that you won't try from time to time, but as you recognize what you're doing more quickly, you are more free now to choose something else. So that's that part. And now
Although I
the
sunk in it,
the
sorry,
yes.
I feel kind of just sunk in I mean, knowing that, but just sunk in sunk in it, sunk in the lesser of it, and not feeling I could get out of it. I mean, than I did this afternoon.
Well, yes, it requires different activity. It requires different focus. So as you recognize, oh, in the exploring new things, as in responding to desires and inspiration and communication and that sort of thing that has me be in the world, interacting with the world, because you do plenty of inner work. It's not as though you're neglecting your inner world, but there's a point of diminishing returns. So when you go within and you're like, oh, I'm really going to deal with my child or my adolescent. So we want you to change that phrasing a little bit. We just said it. You may not have said it that way, but we want you to be aware that rather than I'm going to handle my child or I'm going to deal with my child or I'm going to fix my child, which is what those words really mean, that no, I'm going to check in and see where's my child at. And does he need anything today?
Right.
I'm going to check in with my adolescent and just see. I'm just going to witness. What's he up to today? What's he doing
Right.
in his reality? And does he need anything? Is he uplifted? Is he happy? Is he free? Is he curious? Or is he sort of down in the dumps? And is it more the wounded adolescent that's present? And if it is, well, let's bring him to higher self and maybe to the temple of soul. Maybe help him be aware he has a shadow who's holding sacred pieces that he needs back. So there are different things to do depending on which one shows up. But it's time to stop expecting the broken adaptive child or the broken wounded adolescent. Even if you're in fear or having worry or doubt or whatever, doesn't mean they're having an issue. It's important to find out if they are. If they are, possibly they're on your stage, but not necessarily. And what you'll find is as I go be with my child self in his reality, where he is free to be nurtured and loved for who he is, where he is cared for, where he is innocent and lively and magical and playful and free to be. In that resonance, I get some of that back in the here and now. And if he's not there yet, and I bring my higher self in, and we give that to him and transform the adaptive child into the free child, I also get it then. Same with the adolescent. So as you see, oh, okay, I don't have to worry about my child or my adolescent, but I do need to know that my presence matters, that my checking in is a form of love. It builds my self-esteem, my self-respect, my self-confidence by honoring my child and my adolescent. And it helps them by helping them be more of who they truly are. And I learned something about what it is to be who I truly am. So there's no reason not to engage with child or adolescent. There's only an upside for the you in the now.
Yeah. I, I just feel that I'm being my adolescent and I'm being my child, and I'm thinking,
Well, if that's
uh,
the only way they get your attention,
you know,
then that will happen. So if there's sort of a reluctance, and this is for you to check in with yourself, to be brutally honest with yourself. Is there a part of me that really doesn't want to have that responsibility?
yeah,
So the part of me that thinks I'm not enough, not good enough, that it doesn't matter, that I don't matter. When somebody's in that resonance, in that lower resonance, nothing really matters. And when you let that in, oh, wait a minute. It's not just me feeling like I don't matter. In that resonance, I don't care about anything. I
yeah,
don't think anything matters. And then I can use the metaphysics and say, well, it's just an illusion anyway. Could do that, but usually don't. Usually you judge yourself and say, what's wrong with me that I'm in this state? But you're not in that state for no reason.
yeah.
Your subconscious is bringing it up so that you can see what's ready to be released.
I can see that at the time, and
Yeah, so as you reach for what you want, what pops up is a thought or a decision or a belief. It can be all three, or it can be one of each of them. It can either just be a thought. So when I think the thought, I don't matter, this is what I feel. This is what I do. This is who I am. If it came out of childhood or adolescence, it was a decision that was made as a strategy. Now
yeah,
that's a little different, isn't it? Than just a thought.
sure,
So when a decision is made, well, if I decide I don't matter, then it won't hurt so much when they think I don't matter. Or then I won't let it bother me so much when nobody pays me attention. Or maybe it's a little more complex than deciding I don't matter. Maybe it's an inherited belief from the family that says, look, keep your head down, don't be visible. That's how you get through life. Now it's a belief, not just a thought or a decision, which is a strategy. Still a strategy, but it's
Yeah.
in a belief. And so now that belief colors everything. That is part of the reality matrix. It's the container within which you exist until you confront it. Is that really true? Is that really the best strategy? Does everybody in my reality think that? Or is it just my family? Or is it just people who are sort of like my family or are young men like I am? Is it just young men? Is it little boys? Or is it the world that I'm currently in? Is it a British thing? Is it an American thing? You see, beliefs are interesting because they act as if, yes, that's the way it is. I don't have any other choice. Until you question your belief, until you hold the belief up and say, is this really true for everyone? Or was it a misunderstanding? Or was it just a strategy to survive uncertainty out there? So each of you have something of this sort from the past. Many of you have worked through it enough that it's not your go-to anymore. Some of you are still holding on a little bit because, well, it's safer. And that's the bottom line. When I think I don't matter, well, I won't have the negative impact. I won't have any impact. When I don't have any impact, then I can't hurt anybody. Then I can't disappoint people. Then I can't be rejected. Then I can't be made unsafe. So you see, there's all kinds of hidden agendas for keeping it. But it excludes co-creating with God and Goddess more consciously.
Mm.
It excludes letting your higher self help you. It excludes being part of the world. So there's a cost to it. And there's pain because your soul keeps urging you, hey, let's let that go. In order for you to experience soul, your soul is about mattering, is where the idea comes from. Maybe I can matter in this situation or to this person or to the world. Maybe there's a purpose for me. Not one purpose. And we're not talking fate, destiny, that sort of thing. We're just saying, when you matter, you're willing to have impact. And to be the map maker magician, truly be magical, you have to be willing to have impact. Because you're here to show your work. You're here to show that my presence is part of the equation of reality.
Mm.
It's my presence that dictates my experience. It's my presence that gives me the resources that I have to build reality from. And as I change and become more of who I truly am, as I am more free to be, it translates out here. The illusion changes. And you've seen this so many times, particularly with the acting. So you don't feel all that great during the day or whatever, and you're wondering why bother? Why should I be doing this anyway? And then a voice says, oh, this is the good angel on the other shoulder, says, but Henry, you know you feel better when you do. You know that this is more fun than sitting around at home. And so you go and you get on the stage, so to speak, whether it's over a Zoom call or whether it's in person or whether it's open mic, whatever. As soon as you make the commitment, I'm going to play this role, whatever it is. And I'm going to step outside of this me that I'm used to, that I don't like very much right now. and I'm going to project a different person. The one that this role is that I'm supposed to play. And when I put myself in that voice, it's a different resonance. So you've gifted yourself a way to explore resonances. You're never meant to discard the good that you create. Always meant to take that joy, that beauty, that love with you into your life. Because you see, the role might be the container within which you begin to initiate those energies. But you're the initiator. That's the more real in you. And not the trappings, not the clothing that the character wears, or the worldview or whatever. No, none of that. Though you do that very well. But it's that essence of understanding. If I project this resonance, it has that impact. And as you pick and choose which resonances you want to project, what impact do I really want to have? I get to choose. When I'm back to being Henry, I get to keep the ones that I like. I can explore and integrate them. I don't have to set them down. They're not part of the costume. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does, and yes, and I, yes, it does, and
Then you forget.
well, no, I just kind of resist it. That no comes up,
Well,
and
when that's happening, when something persists, there's something more to find in there. There's a gem, maybe something from shadow needs to be restored. As you say, okay, the me that has this resonance, that I don't really like it, but I keep dropping into it. It's almost irresistible.
yes, it feels safe, and yet it's
Yes. So what about it
it isn't
is
safe
safe?
because it's everything will fall apart.
So as you understand, sometimes negativity looks safe because of the internal logic that created it. It doesn't mean it is actually safe.
No, I
So,
know it's
so
a
this is a typical peacemaker sort of strategy of, well, I'll just do nothing. I'll put my head in the sand, and then when I come to, when I feel safe, I'll lift my head and the problem will be gone. Now, you can create it that way, but not if you don't step into your authority, if
yes,
you don't apply your magic, if you don't know you're creating the problem to begin with. Otherwise, it's just reacting to what's so and putting your head in the sand, and the problem is still there when you bring your head back out. So think of it, we used this example for John many years ago, or maybe he came up with it himself. So when I put my head in the sand, it's like an ostrich on a freeway, and a Big Mac truck is bearing down on him. What do you think's going to happen when he puts his head in the sand? Just because he can't see the Mac truck doesn't mean it doesn't exist
yeah,
in that version of reality. So some of the strategies aren't that, they're the strategies of a child. Not enough information, only doing the best he could at the time with the information he could perceive and understand.
yeah.
But as a spiritual adult now, looking at the same strategy, you think, whoa, that's not going to work. So for those of you who use self-pity feels great. numbs you out. Suddenly, I don't have any problems. I don't remember what they are. But you haven't been effective. You haven't made a change in your reality. You've just withdrawn into yourself and cocooned and gotten saved. Meanwhile, the world's continuing on and you're left behind, so to speak. It was a strategy designed by a child, a
Mm.
necessary strategy. Brilliant solution.
Mm.
But it was never meant to continue to be the strategy that it was originated as. As the child grew up, it was supposed to be set down, kind of like that tattered blanket that you see sometimes in the movies where the little kid carries the blanket until it's ratty and barely there, and yet still sucking his thumb and has the blanket and goes into school and finds out that's not okay. But before he walked into the school, he was definitely keeping that blanket forever.
Mm.
He was going to suck his thumb forever. There was no other way to be. Until somebody said, "Hey, you can't do that. You're a big boy now. You don't need that blanket." The child doesn't agree in the moment that it's told that he's told that. He's a no, this is my blanket, this is my safety, this is my security. I'm not giving this up. But the teacher says you don't need it anymore. You're in school now. You're going to have new tools. And it takes a few days or weeks or months before the child agrees, but goes through a process of having to discard what doesn't work in the new environment. And so when you look at old stuff that's still hanging around, think of it in those terms. Does it serve who I'm becoming? Is it a resonant match? Probably not.
No, I'm seeing that. I'm feeling this and thinking, I know what this old feeling is, and it's very dangerous apart from anything else,
Yeah.
and
And
just
yet,
get
because
myself up.
you haven't given it up only for one reason, and that's because you haven't let yourself know that you have access to a replacement strategy that serves who you're becoming. And that's the work with the optimal future self. That's
Right.
going into that optimal future self, stepping in and saying, give me ideas, give me awareness of new safety. Let me know how you keep yourself safe. How did you let that go? What do you have instead? And so, yeah, do you know what it is before you step in? No, you don't. Do you trust it right away? No, you don't. But do you get a glimpse of what it could be? The freedom you could have, the love that you could have, the safety you could have if you allowed yourself to truly step into the optimal future self. And you do it. And when you come back, you're like, wow, that's a different me. I'm more than I'm being right now.
And
And
I
so,
had glimpses this
yeah,
afternoon. Yeah.
you have exactly. It's not just this afternoon. You had it several times as you find a way to create a touchstone for those resonances when you encounter them. Hey, this is what I want more of. Higher self, this is what I want more of. And sort of cement it by anchoring it, put it in a crystal, or think of an image where the you that's feeling that feeling, thinking those thoughts, behaving that way becomes sort of an impression that you can pick up again, a
Right.
resonance that you can pick up again at will. And that will help you so very much because there's nothing wrong with you that you're dropping into the old resonance. And we'll call it the old one because it's really not who you are. But you're there to recognize, oh, I put that there and I'm keeping it there. So something about it is important. My higher self's trying to get me to get a message. Do I need to go gather something from my shadow? What did I lose? What did I give up by choosing to be that resonance? So for instance, we'll just make believe, as they say. Make a new belief. The little boy decides, I just won't succeed for whatever reason. Could be that father was threatened by that. In the chauvinism, that's very common, where the father has to be top dog and the little boy is a competitor. Ridiculous, but that can be this case. Not for everyone, but for those of you who as a little child had an sort of a competitive parent, know what we're talking about. What would have gone into the shadow to decide I'm not going to be successful? What qualities went into the shadow that were now not allowed to be? It can be the obvious, well, I'm just never going to be successful. But more often it's qualities of being, such as I'm never going to be happy, or I'm never going to be the smartest kid in the room, or I'm never going to share my ideas. I'm going to have them, but I'm never going to share them. So now self-expression goes into the shadow. Or I want to be invisible because it's safer. So now visibility goes into the shadow. So you see, it does take a little bit of analysis by the spiritual adult. What might have gone into the shadow? You don't have to know the exact answer. You just have to be willing to know something went into the shadow and I need it back. And when I get it back, I'm going to recognize it because it's what I know I need for who I'm becoming. And so that's your homework, to do that and just see what comes out of it. It's the shadow, as you know, is the aspect of soul who is picking up pieces along the way. And that shadow starts out as fully dark, becomes lighter and lighter as more and more is gifted back to you. And then you begin to work with the light shadow who's bringing to you what you need in the future. But in your case, you're working with the dark shadow in this case, because this pattern is from the past. That's how you know.
Yeah.
There's no judgment here that, oh, when I'm more evolved, then I'll have my light shadow work with it. No, it doesn't work that way. It just depends. Are you focused on doing the future work right now, or are you healing something from the past? So it's the same shadow. So you're not going to lose out ever, not going to get it wrong, but just know that your shadow loves you and is committed to helping you become whole and complete. To have you always be connected to soul, activating spirit, creating reality. All right, on that note, we've said enough.
Could
You've got plenty to work with. We don't want to overload you or
yes,
the
except
others. All right, John, are there any others before we go?
Yes. There's three more. There's Nicole.
All right, we love you so, Henry.
Monica.
All right, and so who is next?
Nicole. Nicole, are you there?
My stuff that is. I'm really not sure. I guess I'm probably just talking about feeling because I don't know exactly how I've been feeling lately. But again, I've been getting some message because yesterday I listened to three different kind of astrologer talking about the new moon. And again, we've learned from Lazarus the new moon is new beginning. And they were talking about I don't even remember which planet was in which one and not one. But it's there really it was talking about a new beginning. that it's a true change is coming for all of us in a sense. In a sense, I was starting to feel a little bit better because I've been feeling down, and I'm saying, are we going to do it like we did in Atlantis, destroy ourselves and destroy the world? And then listening to you talking also today about self-pity, a little bit of self-pity, and then also working with our future self. And I've been saying to myself, but again, yes, listening to these three people, and I've been saying to myself, I trust my magic because I've been doing also the harmony conversions, going to the valley of emergence and doing that meditation that Lazarus talked about, where we take our power and we affirm we're here to make the change, and we're trying to make the change because this is where we go. And I've been saying that, but I said, I've been just fooling myself because the reality that I'm looking at is not reflecting the kind of change. Even though I've been going to Washington D.C., putting all kind of light around the White House, the Senate, and I keep saying to myself, then what's going on? And I'm a little bit confused. That's where it is. And
Yeah,
you
so
I don't
so
get to that point where I really feel a little bit confused like this.
wonderful. So yes, as you read the news, the headlines, they let you know where the consensus currently is at. What's in your raw materials that are reflecting that reality. So it's not the upper range. Oftentimes you're seeing what's in the mid range. Sometimes you see what's on the low end, sometimes you get glimpses of what's on the high end. But oftentimes, when you're reading the headlines, no, they represent the consensus. And the consensus is your average range. So when you're just defaulting, that's what you get. So when you read a headline, when you think, wait a minute, that's not what I said I wanted. Why aren't we there where I want to be yet? So then you need to work your way up the range. And what would be important? Well, the consensus, the average of the range, doesn't necessarily have the sense of connection that you do. And so lean on that knowing I have connection with my unseen realm. What do they think about what's going on? They might agree with you. Hey, this is reminiscent of Atlantis. Is that really what you want to create next? What might need to be deleted, so to speak, from the raw materials? What might need to be brought in that's not yet there? What energies might need to be brought in to replace those deleted energies to have a different reality? Well, what didn't Atlantis have that you have now? You can start there, evaluating how different is it really? What is different? So you might need to immerse yourself in an Atlantis lifetime briefly in meditation, and then come back and immerse yourself in the current consensus, and then come back into safety and say, okay, what do I notice is different about the me then and the me now? And what you're going to know is that while my Atlantis lifetime had great facility and connection with crystals and all of that, you actually have more power now, a different type of power that has to do with self-awareness, has to do with being conscious, to be willing to know that you're not separate, to be willing to heal that separation from, to answer the longing for. So important on your journey. If that's the only thing you do in this lifetime, you have told your higher self, that's all I accomplish. if I come home in this lifetime and bring all my lifetimes home, it's enough.
Mm.
It's good enough. It is my dream. And now you've been healing that separation, free of the pain, on the other side of the pain. You can see the pain more clearly. It's a natural outcome. Just as when you move into love from a state of lack of love, once you're in the love, you can see the lack of love out here. You can see where somebody's not choosing love. Oh my gosh, all they need to do is choose love. When you're free of pain and you're whole and complete and connected and you're in that state of connection, you look at your world, you can see, oh my gosh, that person has disconnected. It's so much easier to see it. So as you let yourself understand, oh, the reason I see it is because I'm not in it. Now, what do I want to gift my world so that they also can see what I see is possible? So I need to flow more love. Absolutely. I need to flow more healing, more connection, whatever resonances occur to you, to flow it into the universe and know that you are doing it. It's your impact. It's your power. You're empowered to change reality by gifting energy to the world that it's lacking. Because now you have it, you see. Once I'm connected, I can't unconnect. Once I've healed the separation, I don't go back into the separation. Not really. I can have distinctions around it. I can understand it better. It's more meaningful, but I don't go back to that state. So as each of you know, you're not at risk of becoming separate again.
Oh, yeah.
You know that there's no point in picking up pain as a tool.
Mm.
Those days are over. Doesn't mean you don't feel pain. A lot of you are empathic. You, Nicole, are empathic. And so when you're in the environment, you feel it, oftentimes in your own body. You have the opportunity to say, you know, this was a way that I could measure my environment. Maybe I don't need that skill anymore. Maybe it's enough to see it and understand it. Because I know it inside out. I've lived it in many lifetimes. Maybe I don't need to take in the pain to know it's there anymore. And you have made progress in that arena. You have set the boundaries. And so, especially as a healer, important to set those boundaries. I don't need to be taking on other people's stuff to heal it. There were lifetimes where I did. And I would know that it was done when the symptoms were gone.
Yeah. I think really now I'm listening to it and feeling, I think it's the shock of the killing of that woman that I was responding to. And
Yeah.
I need to understand, yeah, that I can change it, but I can send different energy there.
Yes. Healing for everyone involved.
Yes, yes.
Everyone, not just her, but everyone. The witnesses, the perpetrator, the connections that each person had to all the people. It's a community
Mm,
that has been impacted. And then beyond the community, the world is paying attention. What's valuable about this? What's important to pay attention to? And is it right? Is it wrong? Certainly that's that question too. And what if it's more complex than right and wrong? What if there were more layers of mystery involved. And what if I can see something they haven't even seen yet? And what if I dream the dream where they wake up a little bit more and make different choices? What if I dream that dream? So this is part of taking back your authority from the illusion. This is the way it happened. This is what I'm reading. This is the information I currently have. What is important about it to me? Why is it showing up? What do I have in my beliefs that has this version of reality occur right now? And what could a more positive future, what positive future is available that I can choose? Doesn't make sense of what happened. We're not saying that it makes sense,
Yeah.
but it doesn't negate the possibility for you to choose a more positive future by recognizing, oh, this is not what I want.
Mm.
This triggers all this stuff in me, and that can be a healing in itself. And I can say, okay, I'm going to choose to make the most of this intensity. I'm going to choose to let myself release some stuff in the intensity, but I'm not going to stay there. And I'm not going to decide how the future will be based on this current event. I'm going to choose the future I want. What do I want more of in the future? More understanding, more compassion, more responsiveness, not responsibility, because that's too much like giving away your authority to someone else, but responsiveness. What if there were a better dynamic of listening? The quality of listening could have changed the outcome.
Outcome.
Yeah. So as you, as the map maker magician, outrage, absolutely, because you can see the pain, you can see the trauma, you can see the tragedy of it all, and you can see the meanings that are being made by those who were close witnesses, whatever, involved in it, actually impacted by it, family members, whoever. And you can also see the external community and how are they responding, and how is the broader society responding, and what is the threat? What is the hidden threat to freedom, to responsibility, to authority, to creating what you want? So as you are aware that, oh, I'm being triggered on all these levels because I'm seeing it as something I have to avoid. I have to avoid the domination of that event. And so my stuff got triggered. And as you've been working on yourself, healing it, changing it, bringing in more love, bringing in more light, bringing your higher self and your unseen friends into the equation, and you begin to see, okay, this is an illusion, but my body doesn't know it. My body's reacting as though this threat is real. So I need to deal with getting myself back into center. And just like Henry mentioned, well, I feel like my child, my adolescent are right here in me. It's important to go check in on your child. Is your child okay right now? Is my adolescent okay right now? And making sure they're not dealing with that outside event. That has nothing to do with their timeline. Their reality, their parallel reality does not need to have that event be in their reality. So then you as a spiritual adult can then choose, what do I want to focus on? What energies do I want to bring in? I'm a healer. I'm a healer. I create the space within which healing occurs. Is everything all right, John?
Mm.
What's happened?
Quite. Computer's running low as if it's not plugged in.
Okay.
Let me see what's
Check the
going on.
power.
It's plugged in.
Just unplug and replug it.
Done that.
What about the second part? The
It's
lock.
all okay.
All right. Well, if the power goes out, we
Things
apologize.
just went silent here on our end.
Okay, John, have you unmuted?
Yeah, it's fine.
Can you hear us now?
Are you talking about me?
Yes.
Oh,
Can you?
oh yes. Oh, I heard everything.
Okay.
I've just been thinking that
Yeah.
maybe I was a little bit arrogant, that I was expecting, that it's like this should have happened because I've been doing other things in a sense, to prevent it. It could be a little bit of arrogance in doing that, feeling the way I'm feeling.
Could be, but usually well, it's okay to have emotion around higher self. Why didn't you change this? Why did it have to happen at all? Those are good questions. However, the arrogance would be staying in a state of blame of you shouldn't, higher self, you shouldn't have had this happen at all.
Oh, no, no, I'm doing that.
Can I trust you? See, it becomes a question of, can I trust you when I really need you if you're letting this happen? See, don't do that. That's not a
No, no,
fair,
no.
that's not the way reality works, for one. But it's not bringing the responsibility back into you of taking some small responsibility. While my raw materials in the now are what have created this illusion. So when you're totally free of shame, as you are, and if you sense that you're not, you simply ask your higher self to lift the last bit of shame. But when you're free of shame, and you are, we assure you about this, then you can go about the work of saying, okay, higher self, this isn't really what I wanted, but it did happen. So what in my raw materials am I ready to be free of? Because that's not the reality I want to continue to manifest. I want something new. I want more of these qualities. I want there to be more freedom to be. I want more love in the responses. I want more compassion. I want there to be a sense of future dominion. And so as you look at it as, okay, I'm reaching for dominion. This is what I got right now. What do I need to, what isn't a resonant match for dominion? Well, clearly domination, clearly.
You're muted, by the way. Charles muted.
And is the
What?
picture there?
Yeah, I think I think the computer's gone.
Yes. So we may have to wrap it up just because of technical issues.
Well,
Yes.
All right.
I can
John
hear you now.
seems to think he fixed the problem.
We can hear you now.
So
yeah.
usually when there are computer problems like this, it's usually because it is a crystal interface. The intensity of the question sometimes affects technology. So a lot of, not you, Nicole, but the consensus situation has had everyone reacting, responding differently as each of you take this opportunity to ask, oh, what about this triggered me? What's important about this? And what if I could respond to my reality with more empowerment, with more authority, with more choice? Would this still occur? See, that's a good question. As in your writing the script, you're still giving freedom to others to express themselves. You're still asking the world to wake up. How is that going to look? How do you want it to look? Have you put any thought and attention on that? the world is waking up. What does it mean? Does it mean they're all coming out of crisis? Does it mean that they have to have some sort of tragedy to wake themselves up? Or do I want to write a different script? Do I want to allow for the awakening process to show up as a healing, to have it be more gentle, more elegant, easier for them? Maybe I can flow those energies, the knowing that it doesn't have to be painful. That's a topic for you, for certain. I want to create a world that doesn't have to grow through pain. And so as you let that be part of this too, oh, it's reflecting back to me. The world is still growing through pain.
Yes.
What can I add? I think I'll go to the unknowns. I think I'll go to the sacred unknown, the beautiful unknown, the silent unknown. Gather to gift the world, my universe, new ways of growing, to change how people awaken to their true self. Because the script of growing and changing through tragedy is a well-worn path, isn't it?
Yes, we've been doing
It's
it
almost
for a
as though
while.
you don't know that you really changed unless you had it happen that way. And as you say, no, I don't want to do that anymore. It's been done. It's an old script.
Yeah.
Let's write a new one. All right. We love you so.
Thank you very much, Sarah.
Yes, absolutely. You're right on track. All right. And who is next?
One. Oops.
Hello. So, first of all, thanks to Henry and Nicole for really setting the stage. And I definitely get the feeling that as a group, we're affecting the electromagnetics here. So I'm also kind of triggered by what's been going on in Minnesota. I've got family there, and so it's interesting that Nicole brought it up. Um, I have a feeling that there needs to be, you mentioned listening and dialogue, but I feel like there's tough discussions that need to be had around what's going on there. And in my own personal life now as well, I'm kind of confronted with a situation where I feel like I need to have a tough discussion. I don't do those normally. I avoid them. But to me, it's about finding spirit for for myself and all involved. And when we cannot avoid conflict, but we need to delve into it and discuss it, I wonder if you would have some advice on how that could be done with, you know, with no harm to anyone, but with some sense of efficacy, and being aware that one of the parties in the dialogue might be an empath.
Wonderful,
That's
wonderful.
kind of where I'm at
All
right
right.
now.
So we always want you to begin, if you can, with how it looks when it's done.
Yeah.
So you've stated your case, you've had your conversation, and they've weighed in with their responses, whatever they are. And you
Mhm.
go beyond that into the resolution, the energy that has resolved out of it, the new standing wave of community, commitment, of love, of synergy, whatever words come to mind. But so the fear says you're going to say what you need to say and it's going to be bad. And
Yeah,
that's
it could
based
be.
on the past.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not the past creating the conversation you're going to have, it's the future. So the optimal future, allow your optimal future self, who has the tools, who has the skill to navigate the difficulty, and has the ability to tell you right now, it went really well. And how do you know it went really well? Well, you feel at peace, you feel at ease. There's camaraderie restored, or there's a resolution that you're wanting. And as you step into the optimal future self who has it already, what was important about having the discussion. What is it you're really after at the end that you're not getting right now,
Yeah. Yeah.
that you're not creating right now is more to the point, you see.
Hmm.
So as you step back into, okay, I create my own reality, I'm going to pull the illusion back into me, erase, clear the screen. Well, how do I want it to be? How do I know I have what I want? What does it look like?
Yeah. So in that, and I kind of have a vibe about what that would be, but um, part of that vibe is I mean, I'm not, we've had this discussion. I tend to think differently than many people. I use what's called pattern recognition or spatial reasoning or something. So other humans don't do that necessarily. So I'm aware that they may have a desired outcome as well. So part of my desired outcome is that I can finally really understand what is it they're trying to achieve. They're on the high side, not if they have a hidden agendas and a selective memory, not that kind of achieve, but what's the higher purpose they might have as individuals, and how does that work with what I want to do? Does it fit? This is the pattern. Do the tetrahedrons fit together in a nice tight geodesic structure? That kind of thing, right? So is that a form of self-abandonment here, or
Well, we were
is
going
that
to
is that
ask,
possible? Yeah.
are you are you curious about what they need and what they want out of the same framework that Henry's operating from as a child, where he had to know what the others wanted and needed so that he would know to diminish himself?
That's the risk. And no
That's
offense to
the
Henry,
threat.
because he's
That's
done
the
so
threat.
much. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. But that's
So
the
the
risk.
other possibility is I want to know what their hopes and dreams are so that I can celebrate and support them in it.
Exactly. So like
And that's the spiritual adult version
right,
of a new strategy
right.
of oh, I can be curious about what they want out of life and what matters to them, because then I can choose whether I want to support them, and I can support them energetically. I don't have to do or give anything other than being a good listener, for instance, creating that healing space of listening to who they really are, who
Yeah.
they truly are. And of course, there's some reason why there's trepidation around having a tough conversation. So there's something you're not getting that you need them to agree to.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
when you go within yourself and say, okay, what is it I need? And what's the earliest time that I've needed this? Well, if the answer is right now, then fine. Then you work with your higher self on seeing yourself having it, and then you have a conversation after you've given it to yourself already. So then if it's that you need then to appreciate you, well, appreciate yourself first.
Hmm.
If you need them to uh, give you something in the physical plane that they said they would do but they haven't done, then you would see yourself receiving it and feeling the gratitude and generating that energy and that rapport and just knowing and trusting, yeah, that the universe is bringing that. But if there's an earlier time, like in the child or the adolescent, where you're trying to get fixed here because, well, my radar's gone off. I'm not going to get what I want, or I'm not going to belong. Those are the
Yeah.
two warning signals from the child and the adolescent. If those are going off, go to your child, go to your adolescent, let them have what they need in their reality so that when you come back and look at it for yourself, do I really need to have a conversation? Well, I don't need to have the tough conversation, but I'm still going to share where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah. Or go for curiosity. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to share because, well, being more intimate creates safety.
Yeah. Wow.
And that's tough to do when you have an agenda to fix something.
Well, it's tough to do if you're vulnerable. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's a good point. I
Well,
think
when
that's
it's the child that's vulnerable, then it's all about safety, and it
yeah.
will never be safe enough to reveal who you are.
Yeah.
You will never be able to truly share who you are. So we want you to a couple weeks ago, we did a expanding success meditation
Yeah.
where you go and you hang out with your keeper of success.
Yep.
We want you to turn over the I'm different because I think differently
Okay.
and let your keeper of success revise it so that it is a gift.
Oh, wow.
So that is what is important to share.
Mhm.
That's what's valuable. Not the only thing that's valuable, but that it has value in this world. Let your keeper of success rework that so that you can shine with it.
Yeah.
Instead of be rejected for it or be embarrassed by it or be careful about what you say or what you think or what you feel. It truly is a gift. It adds to your world,
Yeah. Yeah.
adds dimension, adds realness. But let your keeper of success rewrite it so that when you express it, you anticipate success, you anticipate joy, you anticipate being rewarded for. And we know that's
Perfect.
different from your past.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, in that meditation back then with my success cube, if I would call it that, in fact, you addressed it. It was a geodesic structure, actually,
Beautiful.
but it was masked in glass that was sort of tinted and designed to capture the landscape. So it was practically invisible until
Beautiful.
you actually came up to it and went inside it. And then inside, the keeper there had a lot of plans. It looked like it had been furnished quite well at one time and had been like somehow cleared out. And it could be because I don't carry the old baggage I did once upon a time, but there's potential there in that entity, that
Yes.
success
Go
cube, if you
back and
will.
see what's been completed since you left.
I will. Thank you. Beautiful.
Wonderful. We love you so.
Amen.
All right, John, who is next?
Monica.
Hi, Tara. I'm so excited to talk to you. Look at the cosmos.
Yes.
I
It must have been important for you to listen to the others because you were supposed to go at the beginning, but now you are adding, you are completing the energy today. And so what? Tell us, where do we begin?
Yes, beautiful it was, and for the others to relax because and trust the universe. I anyway, Tara. I something you said to me, and I practice what you say with working on myself. I always have worked on myself, and now I am looking. I did the acceptance, and what would it be like? And I saw a change in him, and it's more like becoming the reality that I'm going to be entering another life, and it looks like I won't have to be alone. I mean, I don't feel alone. So my question is, um, I would like it to be as successful and love. Anything on that? I hope I said it right. I think I did.
Yes, yes. So what we are listening for is you understanding, oh, I've been working within myself and therefore what's out here changes. And you are seeing the evidence. How beautiful. He's a little bit different. When I accept myself, he changes. And so to do more of that, because as you are in any relationship, there are two souls who are more real that are wanting to communicate, wanting to commune in the resonance of love. It's much easier. And loving the other is part of it. But what's even more important in a way is loving yourself more, so that when you give love, it's coming from an abundant place, because you are connected to love and the source of love. And the source of love is God Goddess, is your higher self, is your soul. And so filled with love, filled with knowing, expanded beyond what I think love is. I am being love. And now I see myself fulfilled. I see myself living the life that I dream. And I even take a moment and step into the optimal future me who has it already. And I gather from that me. I gather confidence and courage and love and connection and even choice, which is direction. Because many choices were made to get you to that future, but actually it's the future outcome that dictates the opportunities you receive now. And so as you allow yourself to be changed by knowing the future exists already and who you are in it, you become aware, I am more in that future than I am now. And that gives you a sense of confidence. It gives you a deeper sense of knowing who you are and what is possible for you to create, because you, as the reality creator, are always choosing something new. That is your purview. That is one of your gifts from God Goddess, is that ability to choose something new. Not out of the blue, but having taken what is so right now and evaluating, is this what I want? Am I open to creating something different? Am I willing to allow my higher self to contribute to my reality, to make it more than even I can imagine? And yet it's important for me to desire, imagine, and expect the new reality, and then to turn it over to my higher self and say, higher self, this or something better, what have you got? And let your higher self contribute their dreams for you, their knowing of who you are and who you are becoming. And when you do that, magic really truly happens. Miracles of love are a normal occurrence in your life. And you know this because you are doing exactly that. Does that help?
That is very beautiful. I do want to ask beautiful Tara, I still have activity around me. I'll always welcome them and love them, and I don't want them ever leaving me. I know they've been with me since I was little, and you know, and I, that way they know that divine source is real. And I believe another question is, well, on that on that note, for myself, do you see still I have activity around me? Like right now, I have maybe.
You are absolutely, you are open and connected to the unseen realm. And in the unseen realm, there are your sources of love, you might say. Your higher self is there, your soul, your spirit, God and Goddess, and then the unseen friends, those who you have gathered around you to be sources of love, to be, in a sense, protection. Because what is love? Love in its highest form is a resonance that acts as a filter. When you are in a state of love, it filters out realities that are not also a resonant match with love. And so, by definition, it's a form of protection. And so, as you always fill yourself up with love first, from the more real, from the unseen, connecting with source energy, with God, with Goddess, and letting them gift you with the reminder that you are a soul, first and foremost, having a physical experience. And that the you that is here in the physicality, your right is to know that you are connected. And when you know that fully, you are able to flow into your illusion, into your world, into your universe, whatever is needed, whatever is for your highest good, with harm to none, with elegance and ease. Does that help?
That is very beautiful. I've noticed that in the human world, they use spirit box and all that. I don't deal with that. I respect them, and just I don't deal with that. It's not my job. Um, but I noticed that there are some who are, you know what I'm saying, that they notice that I have the ability. And the ability is that with God's source, we don't play games. The truth does hurt, and so be it. But how we're hurt, that's up to the individual. But my question is, are they understanding that the light is shining down on earth and it is here? It's always been here.
So there's always going to be a range of those who are aware and those who are not. The world is waking up, and so there are more and more of you who are conscious, who are awake, and who are open to your own divinity, your connection with love and light, a sense of who you truly are. And as you dream the dream of a world waking up, and what would it be for? There will always be some that are not ready, but for the majority of your world to be awake, what would be different? See, it's for you to dream that difference. The world hasn't had it yet. It's not something that has ever been. And so as you dream it and design it and become available to, well, who would I need to be, and what energies are available from from God Goddess, from my higher self, from soul and spirit, that are there to enhance my experience and help me transform myself so that I see a world that is waking up. That's the journey you are on. And part of it is imagining the outcome before it happens, being open to seeing more, the more real, and then making a choice. Yeah, that's what I want more of. Or no, that's not quite right. Let's do it again. Let's imagine something new. Yeah, that feels right. Higher self, who do I need to be to have that be my version of reality? So there's a little bit of efforting needed here. But it's mostly done in the dream state, mostly done in the imaginal realm. And then choice. I choose to create it. I choose to allow it with harm to none, with elegance and ease. Does that help?
Yes, that is very beautiful. And one thing that I noticed with today's technology is that a lot of people think that they have the capability to change the world, where it starts within themselves and trust the universe. And there's always been this going on from the beginning of time. And it's, yes, a better world. And it's kind of embarrassing that the human race has to listen to the word awakening. They should always know within themselves that there is the white light, and yes, there is darkness. But darkness knows the laws of the white light, something that they don't understand. But my wish is that compassion and understanding and trust the universe, because they're watching.
Beautiful.
I love you, Tara, for being here
Yes, we love
and
you so.
giving me light. My heart is burning, is buzzing right now. Thank you, Tara. I love you.
Wonderful. All
Love you,
right,
Tara.
and certainly so, as each of you are aware, just a moment. As each of you are aware, your beliefs dictate the physical manifestation, not just the beliefs, but all of your raw materials are expressed in whatever form they're expressed in. As you recognize, oh, there's nothing wrong, it is what I'm paying attention to. It's for me to be more conscious of what I think, what I feel, what I do, who I am being, and what do I want next. So as you put your focus more on who I'm becoming, what do I desire, imagine, expect next? And have do I have a feeling of resignation that this is the way it is? It usually simply means that you need to go gather new energy, that your raw materials are depleted, that you're done with them. You're ready for new ones. And so there are steps you can take to gather new energy. All right, and Patricia's next.
There we go. Hi, Tara. Thank you for
Dear one. Where do we
taking my question. Tonight has been amazing. Like everything you've said to everyone is just so wonderful and expansive. Um, I have a couple of things. I always have a lot of ideas of new projects, and then I don't do them. And am I so in my negative ego that I want to guarantee that one of the projects is just going to be a real, showstopper? And therefore, I don't want to choose one because I've got to be big and special, and all the ones I can think of are small and insignificant. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. That's what's going on. And the other thing is, I keep getting more physical issues. Um, I just, and I've done this before. I've had physical things in the past that I've healed magically and with commitment, that I wasn't going to have that. And I didn't on more than one occasion. But now I've got more than one thing going on at the same time. And I keep thinking, well, am I doing this because I don't want to choose another future? Is this just a fallback into an old pattern? Yeah, and I feel like I'm beginning to live my nightmare. My nightmare is I'm leaving myself behind, where people I know and love and find to be absolutely awesome are going off and living their dreams. And I'm sitting around, well, should I pick this flower or that flower? And just feeling horribly sorry for myself. I mean, I'm not proud of any of this, but it's just what's really going on. So, yeah, whatever you could advise, I'd just be really grateful to hear.
All right. So it's important to know what are your thoughts. You're very much a feeling-based person, aren't you?
Yeah, I really am, but I deny that. But yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, well, it is the source of your creativity oftentimes is that intention to communicate an emotion through the beauty that you produce.
Yeah.
But the thoughts are also relevant. So some of the thoughts that you expressed this evening, when you re-listen to the recording, you'll pick up on it. Is it my negative ego? The worry that, oh, maybe it's just my negative ego. Maybe I don't really have much say maybe I don't have discernment. So here you have all these new projects that you're thinking of, but not following through on any of them. Well, in order to follow through would require sitting with all of them together and saying, okay, I could do this, I could do that. Which one am I inclined to do? Which one has the juice? Which one has the passion, the power, the inspiration as well, the spirit? without actually sitting with them as a group of, say, 4 or 5 different things that you could be doing, even if it's 2 or 3. When it's one, it's yes or no. I either will or I won't, but that's not empowering. But when you have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 different ideas and you sit with them together, okay, which one can I easily see myself following through on?
Yeah.
Not just necessarily one. Maybe you can see yourself on all of them. Well, the only reason I had the dream to do this one and that one and this one and that one, because I can see myself completing them. And I can see that it would be fulfilling to do them. Or, well, I haven't really done that work yet. I haven't wanted to, because I have what pops up immediately is, what if I fail? What if they don't like me? What if it's not a success? What if it doesn't catch me up to the other people I'm trying to catch up to?
Yeah,
See,
and
you've already demotivated yourself by making it a competition.
yeah, I don't want to do that. I'm doing that, but I don't want to do that.
So let's bring it back into, okay, what's so right now? Without the competition, I have a body of work, of creativity that I'm proud of. That isn't just my opinion. And there's magic in the creating. The creating itself is fulfilling. And it's even more fun when I can gift it to somebody and they pay me money, because then I'm free to do another one and another one and another one. And you have behind you in your past a history, a story, a backdrop of success and fulfillment and connection and reward and all of that. And in that, you want that to feed you, to inspire you to do more, to be the validation that it is. I'm on the right track. Doesn't matter what I pick. I just need to pick one that I care about. Because when I'm inspired, that's when it flows. That's when I'm on track. And I don't really think about anybody else.
Yeah.
I'm not even really worried about selling the work yet. That comes later. The creative space itself is the joy. Now, if you're bored with the techniques you've been using, and we're not saying you are, but if you feel that, well, I kind of want to try something new, don't put the pressure of commercializing it right away onto it. Because if it's something new and you need to learn the skill, you don't know if you're going to like it or not until you do it.
Yeah.
So don't put the commercial pressure on. Just say, I'm just going to try this. I'm going to try that. And I'm going to know by my own internal process and whether I enjoy doing it and whether I actually go ahead and do it, whether it's viable or not. So I'm just going to treat all of these new ideas as new ideas that are worthy of exploration to a certain point. When I have gathered enough intelligence, so to speak, if I've gathered enough data that tells me this is something I want to do in the future, I want to do more of this.
Yeah, because what I love is the download.
Yes.
It's the creative download that is just, and it can be in writing, it can be in decorating something, it can be anything, any kind of creating.
Yeah.
It's that feeling of I guess it's the feeling of really being connected. It's a download. I don't even think about what the product is going to be. I'm just flowing with whatever it is. Could be anything. That's really what I want to feel.
Yes,
Not,
so do more of that. Now, we understand you have a business. You have to paint paintings. You have to sell paintings. But you have your bread and butter painting.
yeah,
While you're exploring these downloads, don't worry about what else you're going to do for money yet. Just do what you know to do. Or maybe you already have a series of paintings that you're going to market more. You're going to put them up and say, "Look, I know this belongs to one of you out there. Who is it? Come and get it." So as you free yourself up to, there's what I know to do and what I am doing as my bread and butter. And then there's this new stuff I need to do for me. I need to connect and download because I'm refining that connection. I benefit from that exercise. I
yeah,
don't know how it's going to manifest. I don't know if it's going to turn into a new form of artwork. It might, but that's not the goal right now. The goal right now is to open my connection, to refine it and build it and allow it to change me. Does that make sense?
totally.
And so
Totally.
now, when you don't have that conflict, the inner conflict of, well, I have to find the thing that I'm going to make money at, and I have to find the thing that'll make me good enough, like friends who have moved on. When you get rid of all of that pressure and you allow it to be what it's really truly for, which is to, it's a gift for you from your soul, from God Goddess. And as you receive it, it changes you. And then as you change and you grow and you expand, now you'll be able to look at what are you doing for your bread and butter, and is this still what I want to do, or am I going to evolve it? It'll just be a seamless journey. But
That
it
would be
resolves that
wonderful.
inner conflict, and that will resolve some pain that you're having.
Yeah.
And you were saying,
Right. That would be wonderful if it was seamless. And the other thing is when I get those downloads, they're very healing. I
yeah,
feel, if I write a story, when I finish the story, I feel like I've had the best night's sleep. I am alert. I mean, I feel so good afterwards. And as you say, I don't have pain. I don't have physical pain like
you,
I do right now. So, yeah,
so you
yeah.
have an answer.
And I would love for other people to have a shift of consciousness, you know, for the things that not just what I create, but something that I could guide other people in a creative activity where they have a shift, where they get the download, their own download. Like it doesn't have a lot of form, but there's that one, there's that out there.
Yes, absolutely. To dream that dream.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you so very much.
All right.
As always. Thank you.
Wonderful. Yes. And thank you for your vulnerability. Absolutely. Each and every one of you this evening have added so much to the tapestry. To each of you are revealing more of what are the energies, what are the resonances you're working with, what are you dreaming that is brand new, that is coming to the forefront now. And you're allowing so much more light and so much more love into the reality you are creating. Beautiful. And so we go for now. We go with love and peace, as always. We go with love and peace as we bring Katharina back. Until next time.